You have a clear goal, you know exactly what you need to do, and you even want to get it done. Yet somehow you find yourself staring blankly at a screen and letting your body sink into the couch. It is easy to look at that behavior and label it a lack of discipline. We are conditioned to see this as a character flaw, which kicks off a cycle of guilt that makes it even harder to eventually get back to work. But what you're experiencing is a biological response. Your brain and body are reverting to a default state rooted in your survival hardware. This is biological inertia. Just like in physics, a body at rest resists starting. The effort required to push against that built-in friction is significant, making the act of beginning feel like moving a heavy mass up a steep hill. Recognizing this resistance as a physical system of friction rather than a moral failure is the first step toward managing the mechanics of your own productivity. To understand this friction, we have to look at the environment where human hardware was forged. For early humans, survival was a daily struggle in landscapes where calories and resources were brutally scarce. Because of that scarcity, the brain evolved to favor rest and easy rewards. Conserving energy was a successful survival tool because every calorie saved was a calorie available for a future emergency. Today, we still carry that energy-saving programming, but we live in an environment that provides constant, artificial stimulation. This chart shows dopamine, the chemical that drives motivation. When you spend hours scrolling social media or eating junk food, you trigger an artificial spike. But immediately afterward, that dopamine level drops well below its original baseline. When your dopamine baseline is low, normal tasks like answering emails or studying don't provide enough stimulation to trigger a response. They feel exhausting because your reward system is effectively out of fuel. When you fail to act, it is rarely a lack of desire. It is a neurologically depleted system that lacks the chemical signals required to fire the engine and start. This chemical deficit is often compounded by physical exhaustion. When we lack movement or sleep, we drain the body's actual energy reserves. This creates a physiological irony. By remaining entirely sedentary to save energy, we decrease our circulation, which actually lowers our overall energy levels rather than conserving them. This leads to mental overload. When a task is too large or vague, your brain registers it as a threat, triggering a biological stress response. Your brain then uses avoidance as a defense mechanism, choosing procrastination to protect you from that perceived stress. We then fall into a trap, sitting in a state of avoidance, waiting for a spontaneous wave of motivation to arrive before we begin. But that wave won't appear while the brain is in a state of defense and the body is physically drained. Relying on a feeling to overcome this biological inertia is ineffective, because a depleted system lacks the starting energy required to push past its own rest state. Overcoming this requires a change in strategy. When you force a small physical start, your brain registers the completion of a micro-goal, triggering a dopamine release that reverses the sequence of motivation. Think of it like turning a tiny gear to move a larger one. By drastically lowering the barrier to entry, you manufacture a spark of momentum. You do this by breaking tasks into microscopic pieces. Commit to just 5 minutes or a single easy step. The goal isn't the whole project, it's just the first move. You must also address the physical friction. Movement increases blood flow and energy, while consistent sleep restores your biological battery. Finally, you have to reset your dopamine baseline. By limiting phone usage and cheap stimulation, you allow your brain to find normal tasks rewarding again. You are contending with millions of years of evolutionary inertia. To move past it, stop waiting to feel ready. Execute the smallest possible physical step and let momentum take over. What tasks make you feel the most unmotivated? Comment below and subscribe to the Daily Momentum for more science-based self-improvement content.